In the year 1945, on December 5th at 2:10 in the afternoon, a seemingly ordinary training flight commenced. 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers departed from Naval Air Station in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. These aircraft, collectively known as Flight 19, were assigned a 3-hour exercise called Navigation Problem Number 1. Their flight plan formed a triangular route, first heading east from the Florida coast to execute bombing manoeuvres over a place called Hen and Chicken Shoals. Next, they would turn north, flying across Grand Bahama Island before altering course once more to head southwest back to their base. With the exception of a lone plane carrying only 2 members, each Avenger was manned by 3 Navy personnel or Marines, most of whom had accumulated approximately 300 hours of flight experience. Leading the flight was Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor, a seasoned pilot and veteran of multiple combat missions during World War II's Pacific Theatre. At first, Flight 19's hop proceeded just as smoothly as the previous 18 that day. Taylor and his pilots buzzed over Hens and Chicken Shoals around 2:30 p.m. and they dropped their practice bombs without any incident. But shortly after the patrol turned north for the second leg of its journey, something very strange happened. For reasons that are still unclear to this day, Taylor became convinced that his Avenger's compass was malfunctioning and that his planes had been flying in the wrong direction. The troubles only mounted after a front blew in and brought rain, gusting winds and heavy cloud cover. Flight 19 became hopelessly disoriented.
I don't know where we are. We must have gotten lost after that last turn.
Lieutenant Robert F. Cox, another Navy flight instructor flying near the Florida coast, was the first to intercept the patrol's radio communications. He promptly alerted the air station about the situation and then reached out to the Avengers, inquiring if they required any assistance.
Both my compasses are malfunctioning, and I'm attempting to locate Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm flying over land, but it's disorienting. I believe I'm near the Keys, but I lack certainty about my exact position.
Taylor's assertion appeared perplexing. Only an hour earlier, he had executed a planned pass over Hens and Chicken Shoals in the Bahamas. However, now he suspected that his planes had veered significantly off course, ending up hundreds of miles away in the Florida Keys. The 27-year-old pilot had recently transferred from Miami to Fort Lauderdale, leading some to speculate that he might have mistaken certain Bahamian islands for the Keys. Now, in ordinary circumstances, lost pilots over the Atlantic were advised to orient their planes towards the setting sun and fly westward towards the mainland. However, Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor held a different conviction. He suspected he might be over the Gulf of Mexico. In an attempt to locate the Florida Peninsula, he made a momentous decision to steer Flight 19 northeast, a course that would lead them even farther out to sea. Some of his fellow pilots sensed his error. One man vented over the radio.
Damn it! If we just flew west, we'd find our way home.
Despite initial persuasion to turn around and head west, Taylor reversed course once more shortly after 6 p.m. "We haven't gone far enough east," he asserted, still anxious about being in the Gulf. "We might as well turn around and head east again." His pilots lightly debated the decision. Some believe that one plane even broke away and flew in a different direction, but most followed their leader. As Flight 19's radio transmissions grew faint, it wandered further out to sea. With fuel running low, Taylor prepared his men for a potential ocean crash landing.
All planes close up tight. We'll have to ditch unless we spot land. When the first plane drops below 10 gallons, we all go down together.
Minutes later, the Avenger's final radio communications dissolved into an eerie buzz of static. In response to the disappearance of Flight 19, the Navy swiftly mobilised search planes to scour the area. At around 7:30 p.m, a pair of PBM Mariner flying boats departed from an air station north of Fort Lauderdale. However, a mere 20 minutes later, one of these planes appeared to mirror Flight 19's fate by abruptly vanishing from the radar. Regrettably, the wreckage of the Mariner and its 13 crew members was never located. Nevertheless, prevailing belief suggests the seaplane met a tragic end, likely exploding shortly after takeoff. Flying boats were notoriously accident-prone, earning the moniker flying gas tanks due to their susceptibility to catching fire. The suspicion that the seaplanes had succumbed to the flames gained further credence when a passing merchant ship reported witnessing a fireball and discovered an oil slick in the ocean. Now, as dawn broke the following day, the Navy swiftly mobilised over 300 boats and aircraft in a desperate search for Flight 19 and the missing mariner. The search party meticulously combed through an expanse exceeding 300,000 square miles, yet their efforts yielded no results. They simply vanished, recounted Navy Lieutenant David White.
Despite deploying numerous planes and conducting extensive searches over both land and water, we never discovered any bodies or debris.
Perplexed Navy Board of Investigation grappled with the mystery. While it posited that Lieutenant Taylor might have mistaken the Bahamas for the Florida Keys due to a malfunctioning compass, no definitive explanation emerged for Flight 19's disorientation. Ultimately, the loss was attributed to cause or reasons unknown. The enigmatic events of December the 5th, 1945 have become a fertile ground for plenty of wild theories and conjecture. During the 1960s and 70s, pulp magazines and authors like Vincent Gaddis and Charles Berlitz propagated the notion that Flight 19 had been swallowed by the infamous Bermuda Triangle, a region in the Atlantic notorious for its high incidence of bizarre disappearances and mechanical failures. Other books and fictional depictions have posited magnetic anomalies, parallel dimensions, and even alien abductions as potential factors in the tragedy. In 1977, the film Close Encounters of the Third Kind famously portrayed Flight 19 as being whisked away by the flying saucers and subsequently deposited in the deserts of Mexico. Even if the Lost Patrol did not succumb to the supernatural, there is no denying that its vanishing act was accompanied by numerous oddities and unanswered queries. Among them, Lieutenant Taylor stands out as an enigma. Witnesses later recounted that he arrived late to Flight 19's pre-exercise briefing and requested to be excused from leading the mission. "I just don't want to take this one out," he allegedly stated. The reasons behind Taylor's reluctance remain shrouded in mystery, fueling speculation that he may not have been fit for duty. Another perplexing aspect remains unaddressed. Why did none of the Flight 19 crew utilise the rescue radio frequency or activate their plane's ZBX receivers? These devices could have guided them towards Navy towers on land. Although the pilots were instructed to switch these systems on, they either failed to hear the message or they chose not to acknowledge it. So, what truly transpired with Flight 19? Well, the most plausible scenario suggests that the planes eventually did deplete all their fuel and ditched into the ocean somewhere off the Florida coast. Survivors would have been at the mercy of turbulent seas and the deep waters. In 1991, a group of treasure hunters appeared to crack the mystery when they stumbled upon submerged remains of 5 World War II era Avengers near Fort Lauderdale. Regrettably, subsequent investigations revealed that these hulks belonged to a different set of Navy planes, their serial numbers diverging from those of the legendary Lost Patrol. Well, while many speculate that the wrecks of Flight 19 and its ill-fated rescue plane may still lie hidden within the Bermuda Triangle, and that's a story for another video, the ongoing search has yet to yield definitive evidence of the 6 aircraft or their 27 crew members, but it teaches us a valuable lesson, and that lesson is to question everything. Thank you for being here with me today. My name is Dave and this has been Question Everything. If you got anything out of today's video, please do bump the like button and share the video, as that stuff really does help the channel. Also, if you haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button and all notifications so you do not miss our weekly uploads. And finally, remember to be happy, be healthy and be kind, and I will see you in the next video.